Do you want to support McLaren but you're not really sure where to start? Let me spill the tea and get you up to speed. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kea and this is Formation Chat, a brand new series where we unpack F1 teams, the drivers, and everything wild that makes you question what's even real. And don't worry guys, F1 basics will still be here for everyone who needs a refresher, but I'm adding this new series and bringing this to you for all the drama and the extra juicy details that you did not know you needed. Today we're starting off with McLaren, a team that has had highs and lows stronger than my mood swings. They have been accused, applauded, fined, praised, memed, and everything in between. Because McLaren isn't just a part of F1 history. They're the plot line that keeps getting renewed for more seasons. And like every long-running show, it has a pilot that no one talks about enough. One thing that new fans might not know about McLaren, well, it's not founded by some mega brand or like some corporate exec who thought racing sounded fun. McLaren was literally started by a guy named Bruce McLaren, a driver from New Zealand, who thought the best way to win was to build his own car and beat everyone with it. Forget Drive to Survive. Bruce literally built his own origin story. He founded the team in 1963, entered F1 in 1966, and by 1968, he was literally winning races in a car with his name on it. Ferrari is red, Mercedes is silver, and McLaren
is McLaren.
Like, that's the sentence. There have been no rebrands, no facelift, just pure speed, drama, and heritage in all caps. Literally. If that's not main character behavior, I don't know what is. McLaren Racing, the part that shows up on your screen every weekend, is 100% owned by Mumta Lakat, Bahrain's sovereign wealth fund. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, my apologies, but yeah. And McLaren Automotive, the road car side, is basically, it was acquired by CYVN Holdings back in 2025, April 2025 to be specific. Now the plot twist here is that CYVN Holdings also has a non-controlling stake in McLaren Racing, which basically means that they are in the group chat, but they're not the admin for sure. So all of this now sits under a very fancy name of McLaren Holdings Limited. While the ownership chart got a little crowded, the racing side found its guy. Zak Brown first joined McLaren in late 2016 and then took over as the CEO of McLaren Racing in 2018. Zak Brown is not the engineer, he's not a team principal, he's the marketing guy. But like the cool kind of marketing guy, not like circle back on this deck kind of marketing guy. He used to race sports cars, he knows what the fans want, and he somehow was able to convince the Fortune 500 companies to sponsor a team that basically DNF'd for sport. Under Zak's reign, he did a couple of little things that made a lot of difference. First, he hired Andreas Seidel, who was the team principal from 2019 to 2022, then passed on the mic to Andrea Stella, who's currently running the show. Secondly, he literally backed sponsors like it was Pokemon Go. And third, which is also most importantly, he dragged McLaren Racing from group therapy stage to functioning adult era. So on joining, he didn't fix the car, but he fixed the existential crisis. That was the rebuild. But let's talk about the golden age when McLaren didn't just show up. They literally shut it down, the 1980s. In the 1980s, the turbo era hit, but McLaren hit harder. In 1984, Lauda won the title by just half a point. In the next few years, Prost bagged 3 world championships. Then in 1988, Senna arrived and said, "Cool story, but I'll take it from here." And that same year, the MP44 dropped. A car so good that it literally won 15 out of the 16 races. It wasn't just dominant, it was borderline disrespectful. Senna went on to win 3 titles with McLaren. One in 1988, one in 1990, and one in 1991. He wasn't just fast, he was a force of nature. And for many fans, that was peak McLaren and even peak F1. The 1990s. After Senna, McLaren stumbled a little, but they didn't stay down for too long. Enter Mika Haikknen, aka the Flying Finn. He won back-to-back titles in 1998 and 1999, with McLaren also taking the Constructors' Championship in 1998. This was the sleek silver McLaren era. 2008. Fast forward to the 2000s. A 23-year-old Lewis Hamilton pulled off the wildest championship wins ever. Final race, final lap, final corner, in the rain, in Brazil, under pressure. He overtook the car he needed to literally in the last few seconds, and he won the championship by just 1 point. It was iconic. But of course, no F1 legacy gets to stay iconic without a full-blown crisis. Spygate. 2007. McLaren got caught with Ferrari's confidential technical documents, like
literal files.
Ferrari secrets in McLaren's hands. The punishment, a record $100 million fine and getting yeeted from the World Constructors Championship. Liegate, 2009. Yeah, that's the actual name. So McLaren told Hamilton to let Jarno Trulli pass under a safety car. Then McLaren lied to the stewards and said we didn't. Except Lewis told the media,
we did.
The FIA checked the radio, caught the lie, and hit them with quite a lot of things. A disqualification for Hamilton, lost constructors' points, a suspended 3-race ban, and a team rep getting fired. Basically, they gaslit the FIA and got caught. Bold move. The Honda engine era. From 2015 to 2017, McLaren tried to rekindle the old Senna Honda magic. Instead, they got memes, they got DNFs, and Alonso roasting the engine live on radio. After all of that, you would think McLaren would chill. But unfortunately, F1 isn't therapy.
It's war.
And McLaren's been beefing since the beef was invented. So, Ferrari, the eternal rival. Red versus papaya, Italy versus UK, legacy versus legacy. It has always been personal. Williams, the 90s frenemy. 2 British teams, 1 golden era. In the 90s, it was McLaren versus Williams for who ruled the grid. Mercedes, the passive-aggressive X. McLaren used Mercedes engines for ages, and they still do. But at one point, Mercedes even co-owned them. Then Mercedes said, what if we just made our own team? And then they started beating McLaren with their own engines. So yeah, that one still stings. Red Bull, the rival they warned you about. Red Bull has Max. McLaren has a fast car, 2 fast drivers, and a constructors title from 2024 in the recent terms. Now, every time Red Bull tries to flex, McLaren drops a double podium and a meme. So yeah, McLaren's beef chart is long, but their driver lineup over the years, it's even juicier. Let's talk the icons before we get to the new age duo. Emerson Fittipaldi, McLaren's first world champion, 1974. Cool, calm, collected, but ruthless on track. James Hunt, the 1976 champ. Fast, chaotic, and always mildly hungover. Literal movie material. Niki Lauda, retired, came back, won the title in 1984, and mic drop. Alain Prost, 3-time world champion with McLaren. Ayrton Senna or Ayrton Senna, 3 titles, endless moments. Mika Haikkinen, cool, unbothered, and fast. Lewis Hamilton debuted in 2007, won his first ever championship title in 2008. And then there were some who didn't really win the title but still gave main character energy, which included Kimi Raikkonen, Daniel Ricciardo, David Coulthard, Juan Pablo Montoya, Jenson Button, Fernando Alonso, and many more. Okay, so you have met the OGs now. Let's meet the ones who are sliding into turn 1 and your For You page nowadays. Lando Norris. Every time Lando hits a podium or wins a race, a group chat somewhere implodes. Lando's career didn't start in a fancy race simulator or a race school. It started with Gran Turismo at the age of 3. By age 7, he was in a real kart. By 14, he was world champion in karting. And by 18, he was finishing second in Formula 2. And by 19, he was racing in Formula 1 for McLaren. He made his F1 debut in 2019 with McLaren and stayed loyal. He's been through it all in orange. Anyways, then came Austria 2020, his first ever podium. And in Russia 2021, he got his first ever pole. And also a lesson on don't stay on slicks when it's monsooning. Years passed and he still didn't get his first ever win. But he still kept on climbing. And then 2024 hit. He got his first ever win in Miami, and he also was the runner-up in the World Drivers' Championship. And in 2025, he's had 4 different race wins, including his home race win in Silverstone or Silverstone. Lando is unfiltered, sarcastic, and he's probably the only one on the grid who'd crash out and then meme about it before the race replay even ends. He's also very self-critical. 1 bad lap, he'll spiral. 2 bad laps, his mic gets roasted. Lando has stayed loyal, he has learned patience, and has even stopped spinning in rain. In fact, he's doing pretty good in rainy weather races. But all in all, he's winning now. And that's growth.
Which we love to see.
Now let's talk about Lando's teammate Oscar Piastri. The man who says 5 words during an interview but lets his driving do all the smack talk. He started karting at the age of 10. Normal age, but not so normal talent. By 14, he had moved to the UK. By 18, he was winning the Formula Renault Euro Cup. 2020, he was the Formula 3 champion. 2021, he was the Formula 2 champion. Back-to-back in his first try. By 21, he was a reserve driver for Alpine. And by 22, he was in McLaren. Not because he waited patiently, but because he Twitter declined Alpine's announcement like it was a
party invitation he
never RSVP'd to. McLaren scooped him up and he instantly delivered. 2023 was his rookie season. He got a podium in Japan and a sprint win in Qatar. Then 2024 happened. Multiple podiums, his first win and another win. And in 2025, Oscar Piastri is leading the World Drivers' Championship, battling Lando for the win. His interviews are short, reactions are minimal, and his performance is consistently lethal. Oscar's always gotta come back. It's just very, very quiet. Lando and Oscar shouldn't really work on paper. One's all reactions and one barely reacts. But somehow, they make one of the strongest driver pairings on the grid. Since 2024, McLaren's been on a
glow up arc.
Constructors title last year, title fight this year with both the drivers in it. This isn't underdog energy anymore. It's a full-blown McLaren era. Papaya isn't playing around anymore. Okay, so far we've covered the podiums, the consistency, the present, plus the future of McLaren. So technically this was supposed to be the end of this video. But since this is the first ever episode of Formation Chat, I have decided that we're establishing traditions immediately. So every week, at the end of every driver video for this series, I will be ending on a random weird question that no one asked for, but we're answering anyways. This week's this or that question is, who's more likely to come up with a strategy called Plan F and actually start using it mid-race without telling the team? Option number A is Lando and option number B is Oscar. Lando would do it for the drama and Oscar would do it with a straight face and deny it. I trust neither. Drop your pick in the comments below, and also, if I've missed out on any one of your favorite McLaren stat, fun fact, or any unhinged story, throw that in the comments as well, because it's always fun. Thanks for watching, and Formation Chat will continue next week with part 2, where I'll be obsessing over another team's past, present, and interpersonal tension like I'm their therapist. Okay, bye!